Whether it be photo or video, the theory of compression working with lenses is something that can be exceptionally useful, because if you get it wrong, things look bad. If you get it right, things can look awesome. And also it can be very, very helpful when you are working within a space. And I'm going to explain exactly what I mean. I'm going to try my best to demonstrate it as well. Perhaps if you're used to working on zooms, you're just used to zooming in and out to kind of get the composition you need. What you may not realize is that by zooming in and out, you are also changing compression and how good things look. Someone who works as a camera operator, or certainly as a director of photography, will be 100% aware of the effects of changing the focal length of a lens. Of course, the key principle that we're talking about here is compression. And I'm going to demonstrate that by using a number of lenses that we've got here. I've got a few Canon zooms. We've got the 16-35, a beautiful wide lens. We've got the 24-70 and also the 70-200. What I would like you to notice is how the shot changes when we use something that's wide. So I'm going to put this lens on your camera, Jordan, and we're going to set the camera to 16 mil. Of course, the lower the number, the wider the shot is. The higher the number, the longer or more zoomed in it is. So we're going to set this 16-35 to 16 mil. I'm going to hand this to you now. We're going to change the lens. Okay. Are we still rolling, Jordan? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Jordan, I'm going to stand on my beautiful spot right here. Can you set the focal length to 16 mil? Of course, you're going to see everything here that's in the set, maybe things that I don't want you to see as well. Jordan, can I get you to come closer to me? And I want you to frame me up so that at 16 mil, wait. 16 mil, my head, Jordan, is going to be at the top of the frame, and my chin, or just the collar area, is going to be at the bottom of the frame, all right? This is going to feel exceptionally uncomfortable for me because it's going to get very, very close. And because we're getting close up, I'm going to take my glasses off because I know that eye contact is key. Okay. Jordan, how do I look? Honestly. Jordan, how do I look? Don't just laugh. Tell me how I look. Jordan says nothing. He's just shaking his head like this. Okay, now what I would like you to realize, not just how beautiful and wonderful I do not look, because I'm so close on a wide angle lens, my facial features are absolutely distorted, but notice the background, okay? The background that you see, you should see quite a lot in there, and it could be quite distracting. But if I was a lady, no, I wouldn't want to look like this. If I was a man and I wanted to look good in front of the camera, this is not how I would want to look. In fact, Jordan, what I would like you to do now is I would like you to keep the same composition with my head, but I would like you to set this to 35, please. So zoom this into 35, and now you're going to have to move backwards. Make sure that my head is, okay. There we go, okay. Now, is your angle of attack exactly the same? I think it is, right? So now notice that I probably look a little bit better, but notice how much is there in the background, okay? All right, now I'm going to move away. I'm going to grab another lens, and we're going to put this on. We're going to go for a 24-70, Jordan, which is this baby right here. I'm going to take this off. Okay. Jordan, could we please go to about 50? Okay, now what Jordan's had to do, Jordan's had to move backwards in order to be able to accommodate my head in the space, all right? Because as he zooms in more, he's having to then move back, all right? But remember that, because that's key. Jordan's physical position in relation to me is different. And Jordan, am I starting to look a little bit better?
Much better.
All right, he says much better. All right, this is good. Jordan, now I'd like you to go to 70, please. Aha. And he's moved further back. But now what you'll start to notice is look at the background. The amount of space that you're starting to see in the background is starting to get a lot tighter, all right? That's a 70. We're now going to change to a 70-200. Just for fun, I've changed my mind because I tend to do that. We're going to change to 100 mil macro. We're going to go right in the middle. Here we go. I'm going to move back into the same spot, which is here, okay? And you should get my head, chin, or bit of a collar. Jordan's setting this up so it's a similar composition, all right? Now my facial features will start to become less exaggerated. You'll probably notice that even though I'm still quite expressive, it probably doesn't seem as extreme as it did when we were working on the 16mm and we were very, very close. And again, once again, the background has also now started to reduce down. Are you ready to go for the big boy, Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, he says yes, which means we're going to a 70 to 200, and we're going to whack this on at the 200mm end. Jordan's distance from me now is far, far greater than when we started. He's moving back again. Are you happy with your position now, Jordan?
Yes.
He says yes. Okay, so now the top of my head is there at the top of the frame, bit of the chin's in there as well. And notice that in the background, you can probably see far, far less. You can 100% see far, far less. And that's down to the principles of compression when you start working with these lenses. So you are now much closer, and everything looks a little bit more flattering, does it not? Okay, perfect. Excuse the sound effects of people moving in and out of this live office, but I think we should have the principles there. Now we've got that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you more on a normal lens. I'm going to put you back on a 24-70, Jordan, just so that we can have a chat. Now, stay where you are, Jordan. That focal length that you were running at when we started talking, I think was about 50, all right, if I'm correct. So you will now notice the distance between Jordan and myself just because we were playing around with the focal lengths. When Jordan was working on the 16mm lens, Jordan was essentially right in front of me, exceptionally close up. But then as he started to move through the range and went to the 200, Jordan ends up where he is right now, which is quite a distance away. Jordan, go nice and wide for us so you can see everything that's here in the frame, okay? So now you can probably see everything that's here. And that distance between where you are right now on the 200 end and where Jordan was with the 16mm, you would say that the overall composition of the frame was very, very similar. My head was at the top and my chin was at the bottom. But the lens choice made such a difference. Jordan, can you come a bit closer just so we can try to resolve and bring all these elements to life? So the key principle is that the lens that you choose has a massive effect on how good your subject looks. It's why the 85mm lens that I annoyingly don't have here because I smashed it, the 85mm lens is an awesome portrait lens. The closest thing that we've got here at the moment to a prime is the 100mm. This 100mm that we've got right here is a beautiful level of compression that really suits the face. So those people that shoot portraiture will tend to shoot maybe with a 100mm macro or an 85mm, and I'm talking about with a full frame kind of sensor there. These work great for the focal length, and the reason for that is because there's less compression, or there's more compression overall. It's just right for the face. The nose isn't too long, the eyes aren't too big, and it looks a lot more flattering. But one of the reasons why I love working with compression and choosing the right lenses is, can you imagine if we were to go on a wide lens? In fact, Jordan, can you go to a 24mm? Just so you know, Jordan is working on a 24mm on a super 35mm sensor. So if you're working on a full frame like a 5D Mark IV, you will notice that the shot would be a bit wider. But Jordan, can you see this light in the background? All right. You could probably see the whole table, possibly. Can you see the ladder in the corner? You can see the ladder in the corner. I would like you to imagine that you wanted to shoot on a green screen right now. Okay? You want to shoot on a green screen and you want me composed as I am now, looking absolutely wonderful and looking beautiful. How big would the freaking green screen need to be? And how much would that cost you? Okay? So your green screen. Jordan, am I still in the shot? Yeah. Don't pan, don't move. Am I still in the shot? Yes. Okay. Your green screen would need to come. Tell me when I need to stop, Jordan. Oh my goodness. Okay, so green screen is going to come all the way from here, all across to our beautiful ladder. Do you see the fridge? A little bit of the fridge, all right? That is a whole heap of money that costs you when you're talking about needing to pay for a backdrop or pay for a set that suits. What we would instead do, as we've just done, is we would then zoom in. Jordan, memorize my composition, please. Yeah. Now zoom into the 70 end with that lens and match it up for me. So Jordan, now Jordan's moved to the 70 end of the lens, and this shot, Jordan, matches the same, I'm in the frame, the same proportions as I was in the last shot that you had on 24. Keep the camera as it is right now. And what I want to do is we want to see how much smaller this backdrop would need to be. Jordan, am I still in the shot? I'm out of the shot. Yeah. Tell me when I go in. In. Okay. Chair, tell me when I move out again. Okay. Jordan, go wider for me. Look at the difference. This is the edge of my frame right now. So I would need a backdrop now that would take me from here to here, right? That is a much, much smaller location. So when I'm choosing a location for a set or for a scene, sometimes what I'm more interested in is I'm more interested in how long the set is, because then what I can do is I can use a longer lens and I can get more compression. Because by zooming in, moving the camera back, it means that we have less of the background showing, and it costs me less to set dress, and I need a much smaller backdrop. Have fun, play with your focal lengths, use this knowledge to help you select the correct lens for the job that you're shooting next. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to those of you who have liked this video already, and if you haven't, clicked like, and you do like, make sure you click like. And thank you to those of you who subscribe. If you would like to get more involved and have some suggestions, please make sure you leave your feedback and suggestions in the comments below. And of course, subscribe, please.